Welcome Galactic family. Greetings, beloved masters. I would like, at this point, to introduce a message from the Magnetic Master, Kryn. On a certain day, as usual, I looked into my eyes in front of the mirror. I looked deeply. I usually send information to my cells through positive affirmations, or I have conversations with myself. But on this day, I sent a loving message to myself in a past timeline. He told me things I would like to hear back then to leverage my process here in this timeline. And so it was, myself in that line received what I had said. Masters, as you know, time is fluid. It is in a circle, you can access it from any point you are in. Just place the focus on the timeline you want it to instantly visit you again. Time is not linear as we were taught, not as rigid as you imagine. Accessing the future or the past is like accessing points in a circle. The points are simply distributed and there is no front or behind until you give it a referential to observe. A sequence and look one by one, or you can scatter them inside the circle and see them all at the same time, focusing on the one you want to access at that moment. Let me give you a metaphor for the weather. I'll wear a watch to symbolize time. Imagine a beautiful and classic watch. It goes incessantly in one direction. With every move of those hands you say that time has passed. Seconds, minutes, hours, are counted and everything he told is now past. Everything that unfolded while the hands moved, now is just history, you cannot go back. The clock does not move back, it just goes in one direction, they would say. Oh, really? As you look at the clock from outside, it really seems to work by itself, with its own mechanism, in a ticking tick. But imagine for a second if you entered the clock and sat right on top of the base of the hands and could put them on the specific point that they wanted. At this time you would have access to time in a different way, it would not be more static, you would access any line you wanted and have the chance to relive key moments of your lives. What do you think of having the hands in your palms? Kryn. Throughout their lives they have been acquiring tremendous burdens that have tarnished the path of each of you. And if you could turn the key and go back there, talk to that child and tell her that during her life she will always have the choice to do good, to do what will be most beneficial to her and to another human being? What if all of you are aware that you can go back to a time in your past and adjust something and give a touch of love to something there? Many of you carried that burden of, oh, if I could go back in time. Oh, you can. And this is a phenomenon that will become more and more normal. Go. Bring into your mind some time in your life that you would like to adjust. Go there. Tell me how you are now. The things you learned along the way. You can do it. You can do it. In every age, you had the key to turn, had the opportunity to do it, had masters who did it and tried to show you how to do it. You who are now becoming aware of this key, who finally wanted to be human, are feeling the key in hand. Almost being able to touch it, feel it. Use it. When you teach this, they may say that you are crazy. No problem. As you know, the future is not fixed. There are only potentials of manifestation according to what is created in each now. This is a wise view. But would you also look at it in this way into the past? Is it even that it is fixed? Is it, dear human being, that you have not gone to the future and discovered that the past can be reprogrammed, redone? Have you not discovered that as you acquired more love, more compassion, more expanded awareness, the potentials of your past could also change? Yes, my dear, you have discovered, beloved traveler of time. You're here, right now doing it. You are rewriting the past with more compassion, with the divine consciousness awakened in you. You are putting up-to-date information on the planet's crystalline grid and replacing the old grid filled with habits of old energy. See how beautiful they are doing now. Imagine that you are characters in the history of a book. The whole story is told in that book. As characters, you know only the context of each page. You cannot see the whole story. You do not know what will unfold in the next chapters of the book and never imagine what the end of that story will be like. Now imagine for a moment that you are holding this book in your hands and reading it all over. Now you know the whole story. You know what the end of that story is if the previous pages stay as they are. But you did not want that ending, you wanted something more exciting, more beautiful, more great. So, what did you do? They plunged back into that story knowing exactly what they should do to have a different ending from the one already written on the old pages. You have been rewriting each page with new information and the story has been getting completely different from the previous one. But as you knew your potentials in making this change, they decided to do it even faster. You have decided to go and rewrite all the pages at the same time. How brave! You knew what you would get, you knew the support you would have from those outside the book. They knew that if they forgot a comma or a dot, they would be remembered. After all, you trusted. A beautiful teamwork. And yes, the book has already been completed. This one, where they are now, is just one of the pages being rewritten by you, and we are just reinforcing the remembrance that you have already been able to do what you are doing. You are multidimensional beings. You do not have to be in only one line of time at a time. Visit all those lines that need your compassionate gaze, bring forth the love that you have already cognized and bathe these moments with expanded divine consciousness. Move your hands as you wish. The key to getting on the clock is already in your hands. Use it. Call me always. I am Korean, see the key.